Before engines, before power, before how the car looks, every car starts with one decision: the chassis. Get this wrong, and everything else becomes compromised. Welcome to part 1 of How to Build a Car at Home series. Before you start, what you must have. Before you even open CAD software or touch a welder, there is one rule that beginners ignore, and it ruins builds. You must have your major components physically present. That includes engine, transmission, differential, fuel tank, seats, radiator, and cooling components, etc. You might ask why. Because chassis design is not theoretical. It is dimensional. Mounting points, clearances, seating position, drivetrain angles, cooling routes all depend on real measurements. Without the actual components in hand, everything becomes guesswork. And guesswork leads to poor packaging, bad weight distribution, and redesigns after the chassis is already built. You don't design a chassis first and hope parts fit. You design the chassis around the parts. Now let's start with planning before fabrication. There are two things that become non-negotiable: planning in CAD and tools and materials. Readiness. First, planning in CAD. Learning basic CAD is not optional. You need it to define chassis dimensions, plan material thickness, place suspension pickup points, check engine, drivetrain, and seat positioning. Verify clearances before fabrication. If you don't design it in CAD, you'll design it with mistakes in metal. Even simple 2D layouts can prevent major structural errors. Second, tools and materials. Readiness. Have everything ready before fabrication begins. Your welder, angle grinder, clamps, measuring tools, and all steel tubes and plates. Stopping mid-build because something is missing leads to rushed decisions, misalignment, and compromised weld quality. What a chassis actually does. The chassis is not just a frame. It is the core structural system of the entire car. A chassis must support the vehicle's weight, handle forces from acceleration, braking, and cornering, maintain suspension geometry under load, protect occupants in a crash, and provide solid mounting points for suspension, drivetrain, body panels, and safety systems. Here's the key thing to understand. The chassis decides how the car behaves. The engine only decides how fast it gets there. Now let's explain chassis types and which one is best for your application. Starting with unibody chassis. A unibody combines the frame and body into one structure. It is lightweight and efficient for mass production, but extremely difficult to design correctly from scratch. It requires advanced crash engineering, precise manufacturing, and offers little room for error or repair. For a home-built one-off car, unibody construction is not recommended. Next, body-on-frame, highly recommended. A separate structural frame with all major systems mounted to it. This design is strong, forgiving, and easy to work with. It allows modular construction, excellent access to components, and easier future repairs or upgrades. The trade-off is weight, but for scratch-built cars, this is one of the best platforms available. Tube chassis/space frame, highly recommended. A structure made from steel tubes where strength comes from triangulation. When designed correctly, it is extremely strong, lightweight, and fully customizable. But remember, tubes don't add strength. Triangles do. Poor geometry here can be dangerous. Modular construction. Regardless of chassis type, modular design is strongly recommended. Front module for suspension and impact structure, center cockpit for occupants, and rear module for engine and drivetrain. This improves access, repairability, and future upgrades. Now for the most important part, engine placement, the decision that defines everything. Engine placement is not a styling choice. It defines the entire chassis, front or front mid-engine, engine behind the front axle, typically around 55-45 weight distribution. Stable, predictable, easier cooling, and ideal for beginners. Rear engine, engine behind the rear axle, often around 40-60. Excellent traction, but challenging at the limit and requires careful suspension tuning. Mid-engine, engine in front of the rear axle, near 50-50 balance and highest handling potential, but more complex cooling and tighter packaging. The key design decisions: wheelbase, track width, and center of gravity. Longer wheelbase improves stability. Shorter wheelbase improves agility. Track width. Wider track increases grip and stability. Narrower track improves packaging. Center of gravity. Lower is always better. Influenced by engine height, driver position, suspension design, and ground clearance. Lower center of gravity improves braking, cornering, and overall stability. Materials and construction. Mild steel is affordable and easy to weld. Rectangular tubing works well for frame rails. DOM tubing is preferred for roll cages and space frames. Steel plates are used for suspension, engine, seat, and fuel system mounting. Workmanship matters more than material choice. Now that the foundation is defined, the next episode will focus on drivetrain layout and engine integration. Because power only works when the chassis is designed to handle it. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thanks for watching.